Well, hey folks, how's it going today? Hope everybody's doing really good. Well, I'm sitting in the control room here, and I thought I would kind of give you guys a breakdown of how I go about roughing song ideas down all by myself using guitar, bass, and drums. So I'm going to play you just a little clip of something that I did this morning. I played the guitar, bass, and drums on what you're about to hear. This is in its rough state, but I'll explain all that in a second. All right, let's just listen to a little bit. Okay, folks, so again, that was just something I kind of roughed in this morning, uh, just out of the blue. Now, in that particular instance, I just turned the metronome on, plugged a guitar in, no effects or anything, and I just started playing something. And that's what you just heard. Within a couple takes, I had kind of a progression worked out, or at least a couple parts that I could swap back and forth. So that's usually my process with the just getting the ball rolling. So after I get that done, if I like what I had, I'll add like a bass track. So I'll plug a bass guitar right directly in to the recorder, just like I did with the guitar, and I'll overdub a bass line against it. Okay, now usually I don't get too worried about perfection as if it's gonna be the greatest track in the world. It really doesn't matter to me at this point. I just try to play in time, play in key, make sure my guitars are tuned and all that. And the next thing will be to put a drum track against it, or at least play some drums against the bass and guitar tracks. So what I usually do, I have four mics hooked up on the drum set right now. So let's take a walk out there. So right now, all I have is a couple condensers set up. There's one there, large diaphragms, kind of pointing towards that SG over there. But that's picking up a lot of snare and a lot of hi-hat. And I have this large diaphragm just kind of pointing in that direction towards the kick, and it's getting some of the ride cymbal and stuff. I do have a kick drum mic, and the fourth mic is going to be the snare drum mic here. And I'm using a Shure 515 SD. These are really inexpensive. They're similar to a 57, but I kind of like the sound of these better. I think they take a lot more pop. They're a little fatter, in my opinion. They got an on and off switch too, which is kind of handy. So what I usually do, folks, is this. I have a punch pedal right here on the floor beside my hi-hat. So what I'll do, that's hooked back to the recorder way back there in the control room. So what I'll do, I'll step on this once, and I have a headphone amp right here in my headphones. I use these old Realistic Novas. They're my favorite headphones for drumming. They're pretty well isolated and they sound really nice. Got a lot of thump to them. So I got this little 4-channel headphone amplifier. It's on a stand. You can move it all around the studio, and it's hooked back to the control room. So I'll get my headphones on, get the level right. When everything's right, I'll step on this pedal once. That'll start the machine playing. I'll step on it again, and it will start recording the 4 microphones that I just showed you. So it gives me one chance at it, basically. You know, if you make mistakes, then I have to actually hit the pedal again, walk back there, stop the recorder, erase the take, come back out here and repeat the process. So I really don't try, for perfection here. I just try to be able to, this at least makes it so I can start at the beginning of the song without having to start the recorder and run out here and try to get on the drum set and play in time. I can actually start the machine and then hit it again and it'll start recording, and I can play drums against it. So it's pretty handy that way. Now, again, I'm not looking for perfection. When I mic this drum set up, for real, it's a little different. I don't use a ton of mics, though, because it sounds nice in here anyway. I like kind of a room sound, a little airy. I don't like the drums close mic so much. I'm getting sick of hearing recordings like that. I like to hear some air around them. These drums move a lot of air too. They're really big. So that's basically how we get, just establish a track here. Like I said, that's all I'm really looking for, is just to hear what this will sound like with drums, bass, and guitar. So that's kind of my process of just roughing songs down, and it doesn't take that long, really. I can usually rough a song down like that with just, guitar, bass, and drums. Half hour, 45 minutes. I can usually get it together, long enough to do it. And there's mistakes all through it, especially the way we're doing this, because I'm actually working backwards. It's nice to start with a great drum track and build off that. So I have to start with guitar and bass and try to capture a great drum track and then move backwards. So, it's a little different, and playing to a click track on a drum set is no joke. A lot of drummers can't even do it, it's really tough. It takes some practice, really, it does, to get good at it. And, nobody's going to pay studio fees for a drummer to practice, his click track technique. So I have the option to do it here for nothing. So I'm not that good at it. I'm not a drummer or anything. I know enough to get myself in trouble, and just enough to, hold a beat down so I can at least track stuff and get an idea of whether or not I, want to keep going with it. And if, sometimes it's instant. Sometimes when I get out there on the drum kit, within the first 10 seconds, I can already tell that I have the right beat and the song's starting to flow and jive, and it's going to be, something fun to play. And also on the other end of the spectrum, you can tell really fast if the song just doesn't have it. And it could be because you're not playing the right drum beat. It could be just the wrong time, wrong meter, wrong tempo. And, you have to experiment like this to figure this stuff out. So this is what I really like to do before I get other musicians involved. I want to make sure that it's, it's playable. It's easy to play against, the tracks that I lay down. and so forth. So at the end of the day, if you get good at playing with a click, it doesn't sound quantized. It doesn't sound like AI. You can play either side of the meter, okay? You know, you can play right down the middle. You can play ahead of the beat just a little, or you can just kind of lay back behind it. And you can fluctuate that even with a metronome at times. So, just human error, because we're not robots, and we can't play like a metronome. I mean, we can all play in time, and some of us think we can play like metronomes, but not the case. I mean, we all have a little bit of error going on, and that's what makes it sound real, and it gives it that cool feel. When you start adding other instruments on that human beings are playing, then it starts to form this kind of cool pocket thing that, it sounds like perfection, although it's not. But that's the stuff that I'm after. I'm not looking for perfection. I just want to be able to, spitball ideas really quick and turn them over and be able to listen to them, with at least the three main essentials: guitar, drums, and bass. And if it is something that I like, then I'll pursue it and keep working on it, and then share it with some friends and get them going on it. If it's not good, or if I don't think it's good, I will probably record it to a CD or something just to have it. Because sometimes, we make bad decisions that way. You might be just having a bad day and say, I'm scrapping it. I don't like it. But, I've gone back through some of my old recordings and, rough takes and found some gold in there too. So, again, folks, I just wanted to kind of share this, and hopefully it kind of inspires some of you guys to get going and do some recording of your own. It's a lot of fun. It doesn't have to be crazy good. You can just take the simplest idea and just try it. See if it'll, jive. If you don't have a drum set, take a cardboard box and tap on it. Tap on your pant legs. You can still build percussion without a drum set. I mean, at least give you some idea. I've done a lot of things like that over the years, just so I could try it and possibly even record it, so I wouldn't forget it. That's another great thing about, cell phones. We all have them now, and it's easy to record something on it. If you get a good idea, set your phone up, record it, and try to build off it that way. That would have been a useful tool back in the day for me, having a cell phone, there's no doubt. And just having, the ability to acquire ideas at high rates of speed like that. Well, anyway, folks, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll be sharing more of this recording process as I go along. I'm not a professional by any means. I've never taken any lessons on anything. I've had to teach myself all the way through. So, there's things that you're probably going to see that you'll be scratching your head, and there's other things you may see that you may also be scratching your head. I don't know. I don't know how to phrase it, I guess. But anyway, thanks for sticking along for the ride, folks, and we'll see you guys real soon. Be good. Okie doke.